KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adai Tano program. Harley-Davidson of Guam. Visit our new showroom, now located on Route 8 in Mighty. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, a public health concern at the local prison that's going to cost millions to treat. The governor gives her response. Plus, more on proposed legislation that would require more in GovGuam to be drug tested. Hear from the bill's author. And details after an airman is sentenced in the deadly stabbing that happened on Anderson Air Force Base last March. Hafa and good evening. Well, a public health concern. It's going to take millions of dollars to treat the about 100 inmates at the prison with hepatitis C. We brought you the details during primetime Tuesday night. Tonight, the island's governor, who was also a nurse, responds. Here's more.
We need to protect it from being spread. I'm pretty sure public health is also on it to make sure that, it doesn't spread into the community.
Governor Lulian Guerrero is responding to the latest health issues coming out of the Department of Corrections. As we reported, about 100 inmates at the local prison have hepatitis C. The CDC reports that most people become infected with HCV by sharing needles or other equipment to inject drugs.
Hepatitis C can be treated, and it's a long, I think it's an 8-week program that has to happen with treatment, with medication, and I know that it's a very effective treatment. So yes, absolutely, we need to treat those inmates there.
But the long-standing issue for treatment is said to be a rather hefty price tag, roughly $8 million, for those inmates infected with the virus. Dr. Larry Lazama is a physician who has been working on the healthcare issues at DepCor since the previous administration.
Where the challenge really comes is this high-end expenses, that expenses for healthcare delivery. Such as hepatitis care. Okay, we are not prepared. Okay, we are not prepared to deal with these populations. What concerned me was the high infectivity rate. Okay, basically people that were using drugs were coming in positive, almost 100% positive. So there's something out there in the community. I was having some social chat with this one. There's something out there in the community, or the source of people that are getting, these needles, that are causing basically a high infectivity rate. So a IV drug user of methamphetamine comes to the DFC almost 100% positivity. And it doesn't matter whether they're from the south or the north.
The hope for the medical community is for elected leaders to come up with solutions soon to get a handle of the health issue before more are exposed. The governor says she's on it.
We'll also work very closely with Samantha, our director there, to provide her with the resources that she needs to, not only from a health standpoint and from a human standpoint, to make sure that the inmates are treated. Because it can get into complications, and if we find it early in the process of the disease, that's even much healthier for the inmates.
Senator Jim Moylan today challenging his colleagues to get tested for drug use. Chris Barnett touches base with the senator in this next report.
Senator James Moylan says his colleagues should lead the way in fighting Guam's drug epidemic. The freshman Republican senator says his Bill 26 and his Legislative Rules Resolution 16 are a good first step for senators to not only talk the talk, but walk the walk as well. Bill 26 would lift drug test exemptions for elected and appointed officials and members of boards and commissions, while Rules Resolution 16 would require legislative employees undergo drug testing.
If we're mandating that for the employees, then the legislature should mandate that for themselves too. Again, just leading by example.
Moylan says he expects some opposition to his measures, but at the end of the day, hard drugs are taking their toll on the island.
The cocaine, the ice, all that stuff, those are hard drugs, those are bad drugs. Those will never become legal. It hurts the health and welfare of our community.
While Moylan's measures have raised some eyebrows in the community, particularly with those who wonder if marijuana use will constitute a failed test, Moylan says his focus isn't on pot.
My concern is meth and cocaine. You're safe with your medical card for marijuana, medicinal purposes. The people of Guam voted for that. Eventually, we'll be voting on recreational marijuana as well.
When asked if he thinks legislative employees are using drugs, Moylan said, like every GovGuam agency, he's sure there are some senatorial staffers who will pop positive. Moylan said he'll take a drug test any day, and he challenges his colleagues to do the same. The minority senator said the 35th Guam legislature could save taxpayers time, effort, and money if senators just take a voluntary drug test.
Just do it voluntarily. You can do that as well. That would help out and lead by example. Sure, that would save everybody some time and effort and stuff like that. Sure.
For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
This story was the talk of the town on our social media platforms. Our digital team gives us a look at how some of you are reacting.
The talk, it seems, is going around about the government's drug testing. Several want to raise the stakes even more. One of our followers, Leanne Flores, writes, "There are ways to get around a drug test, with urine, of course, unless caught off guard. Take it further and do a hair follicle test on all government workers." Josh Mangoon commented, "Drug test everyone working for the government." Also added Melvin Duenas, "Can you extend to include all DOE teachers and personnel every 6 months?" Then there's some in our community who want to include more than drug testing. One of our ardent followers on Facebook, Kelly Bell, writes, "I think all government employees should be subject to random drug tests, and anytime a supervisor suspects the possibility of being impaired. Alcohol as well." However, as is the case on social media, there are, of course, a few naysayers. Take a look at what Mike Rosansky commented. "People," he says, "are going to disagree with me, but I say no." Why, you ask? Well, let's break it down. So GovGuam, let's say, has 5,000 employees times $25 times 12 months equals $1.5 million a year, which could go to schools, the hospital, police, and fire. So I'd rather have that money go there instead of drug testing. Mike also says the government doesn't have the money to be throwing away like this. I say no to drug testing. Now, for purposes of clarification, he also included in a comment he does not work for GovGuam. Peter Guerrero also makes a point strongly stating, you might lose half of the employees.
Our digital team is always taking your comments and suggestions to any of the headlines we cover daily, so send a comment and you just might see it here on Primetime. You know where to find us. 35 years and a dishonorable discharge from the military airman first class Isaiah Edwards has been sentenced after being found guilty for the murder of fellow airman Bradley Hale. The deadly stabbing happened last March while the two were deployed to Anderson Air Force Base. The trial happening in Shreveport, Louisiana, where the two were stationed. Edwards will spend the next 35 years in prison. He will be dishonorably discharged from the Air Force, but he will be eligible for parole. Edwards claimed the stabbing was self-defense, the Hale family telling our affiliates at KSLA that this was a win for nobody. They wish the sentence included no parole. An apparent machete attack in Harmon leads to one man being placed under arrest. 37-year-old Robert Lucio is charged with reckless conduct, aggravated assault, and use of a deadly weapon in the commission of a felony. Police responded to the incident Tuesday night just after 10 p.m. The victim told police he was attacked by a man with a machete while walking along Adrian Sanchez Street. He suffered a cut to his right arm, being treated at GRMC. Officers were later able to track down his attacker not too far away, still in Harmon. He was taken into custody. Police also confiscated that machete used in the alleged attack. Defense wants more of the evidence before taking the case to trial. More than a year has come and gone since the major contraband investigation busted wide open in 2017 at the Department of Corrections, and defendants have yet to go to trial. The case involves former DEP Corps officers and inmates, each accused for their part in the alleged scheme to smuggle drugs and other items into the prison. The group appeared in Judge Anita Sokolo's courtroom Wednesday morning. The court was given an update that inmate Bruno Simmons, Roxanne Hokok, Ron Menno, and former corrections officer from Emeritita have since pleaded guilty and have agreed to cooperate with the government in prosecuting the others accused. A global plea deal is in the works for inmate Sean Paul Johnson. Pre-trial is ongoing for Paul Linwood Johnson, Leanna Cabrera, former DOC Lieutenant Jeff Limo, former officers Franklin Meritito, Jerome St. Nicholas, and Edward Crisostomo. Defense counsel has again requested for discovery, including statements from cooperating witnesses and test results for the drugs found. The prosecution has until the end of the month to respond. The defendants are set to return to court for further proceedings on February 19th. Well, the path is clear for an all-new emergency response system, the governor pledging again to return the $3.8 million that was illegally diverted from the E911 fund. She repeated her promise during a tour Wednesday of the 911 Control Center at the Office of Homeland and Civil Defense. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The Calvo administration came under fire from the FCC for diverting nearly $4 million for 911 to other operational expenses. The PUC last week ordered that the money be reimbursed, or else the government and the former DOA directors who allowed the diversion could face further sanctions. The governor has already instructed the administration department to make good on the nearly $4 million, and Leon Guerrero wants a new, updated system to replace what has long been obsolete.
One of the things we're also thinking about is this the opportunity to maybe merge the communication system with the public safety and maybe go out as one big RFP or contract so we can get better, maybe better grade and also at a much more discounted rate, right? So that has been discussed, but not yet decided.
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio says while the reimbursement will come from the general fund, they expect to generate more revenue through better tax collection.
It really is an issue of making sure our tax collections are exceeding the past history and getting in, collecting all of the back taxes owed that the governor's been talking about for some time now, and pushing that money into paying back this debt and making sure that the cash is stabilized.
Deputy Fire Chief Joey Sinicola says the request for proposal packets for a next-generation system have been issued, and the deadline to submit is March 1st. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Well, the airport says it will appeal a Superior Court decision upholding a $2.1 million arbitration award to DFS. The airport argues that the retailer owed back rent when it failed to promptly vacate space at the terminal after losing the concessionaire contract. But the lower court upheld the arbitrator's decision, ruling that the airport was not entitled to the money from a DFS security bond. In a news release, GIAA said the lease at issue clearly states that any disputes must be resolved by the courts of Guam, not by any off-island arbitration panel. The airport and DFS have had a long-running dispute over a master retail concession deal that was awarded to DFS rival Lotte Duty Free in 2013. The airport maintains that DFS launched the series of expensive protests and lawsuits against it after losing the contract. Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
Cheers to 80 years! It's our 80th anniversary and the gifts are on us. 80 gift certificates, 8 shopping sprees, 8 staycations, and 1 round-trip flyaway for 2 to Manila. So how do you enter? Calvo's Insurance personal home and auto customers are automatically entered. Non-Calvo's customers may enter by receiving a qualified quote. It's our way of saying thank you for trusting us for the past 80 years. For more details, visit calvos.com/giveaway or call 472-6816. Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years.
The great thing about technology isn't about how big, fast, or clever it is.
It's about delivering connections that empower people to achieve things. Try them for the first time.
Connect with others. Or even rediscover the world around us. It's your world. Explore it.
Chuck E. Cheese's Guam is not all fun and games. Our pizza is delicious with the freshest toppings, oven-baked to order. Try the fresh salad bar, sandwiches, and don't forget our mouth-watering wings. Come and eat at Chuck E. Cheese's Guam.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
Welcome back. Disappointment is being shared after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled to allow the Pentagon to limit transgender military service, at least for now. Back in July of 2017, President Trump tweeted the military would not allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity, reversing an Obama-era policy ending the ban on transgender Americans in the U.S. military. The court's decision means the administration can move forward with the revised version of its plan, barring transgender people unless they serve in their biological sex and don't seek to undergo gender transition. In response, National Guard's Adjutant General Roderick Leon Guerrero says there are currently no transgender soldiers in or airmen in the Guard, nor anyone seeking that change. He adds, quote, as members of the military, we will follow the guidance of our leadership and Commander-in-Chief in this matter. But a retired Army veteran from Guam, Layla Ireland, who is transgender, took to social media to express her extreme disappointment. Layla and her spouse are both transgender military vets whose story has received national attention over the years. She writes, quote, this is definitely not what we wanted to see happen after all the work we've been doing and all the data and personnel that we have provided. She promised to work even harder to ensure the Trump administration does not implement what she calls a discriminatory action. She adds, heads high, keep up the fight. Regarding a looming labor crisis, Governor Leon Guerrero says she hopes to speak directly with Homeland Security Secretary Christian Nielsen about an exemption to allow Filipino H-2 workers to come to Guam. DHS has removed the Philippines from the program, citing a high rate of overstays and concerns over human trafficking.
We're just trying to get an opportunity to talk to her on the phone and try to meet her when I'm over there at the end of February. But I did talk to her when I was visiting with President Trump, and I expressed to her the H-2 worker situation, and she said she would look into it.
The governor says she also spoke with Congressman Michael San Nicolas about including an exemption in the next defense spending bill, similar to a provision that currently benefits military construction projects. Meanwhile, the chamber issued a statement saying removal of the Philippines from the H-2 visa program could be catastrophic to our economic development. The chamber has supported the current use of H-2B workers for military projects, but President Catherine Castro says they also want to ensure that local projects receive the same reconsideration. With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa Guam, here are the headlines for CNMI.
We're looking at safe, secure, high quality, and more importantly, affordable homes for those here in the community.
It's called the Rent to Own Home, a project by the Commonwealth Development Authority, where a resident is able to rent a home and all the money put into the rental goes towards the purchase of the house.
We're still moving forward, and what we're hoping to do is for CDA to own the homes and then for folks to be able to come and apply and see whether they can avail of that. We envision using a very fair process to do that, and so what we do is to pre-qualify the applicants. And after that, we would do a random lottery draw, probably from a third party. So it'd be a very fair process. So everybody would have the same chance and to be able to own a home.
One objective of the CDA is for the house to be durable enough to withstand the rough weather of typhoon season.
Our goal is to have seismic-proof, typhoon-proof homes that can be insurable. And of course, we'd have to ensure that they're high quality because we'd basically be acting as a landlord, so we'd have to make sure that we don't have any potential liability. But then again, our goal again is to provide high quality, affordable, eco-friendly homes and to be able to avail of it through a rent-to-own home program.
The pilot project has been approved, and now CDA is working with the government and the private sector partners to move forward with the project.
And we've been working on it for the past year, trying to come up with, to see what's available out there in terms of designs. And of course, we all were aware of the housing crisis before the typhoon, with limited supply available and then the increase in rent. And now all the more so with all of those that have been greatly affected by the recent devastating typhoon. So we're trying to see what we can do, and we're hoping for a lot more collaboration.
Coleman says the goal for CDA is to turn homes between the $65,000 to $100,000 range.
We looked at it based on just the income, household expenditure and income information that's available. And it's really for those that have limited liquid assets and aren't able to get financing through the banks, as one model for them to consider. This model is actually being done in the U.S. for similar reasons, just because of the access to financing is not always available.
Making the monthly rent payment go further than just a temporary home. Reporting for KSPN, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Rosanna Villagomez-Aguin was sworn in as the new Chief Probation Officer of the Judiciary of Guam. She's a former U.S. Probation Officer for Guam and the CNMI. She was joined by colleagues, family, and friends during the ceremony in Hagåtña. Villagomez-Aguin said she looks forward to enhancing the programs at the court that ultimately would work to meet the needs of those they serve as they protect the community. According to the judiciary, Villagomez-Aguin graduated from Sacred Heart College in Belmont, North Carolina, with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminal Justice and Psychology. She's active in a number of civic organizations, including the Menengan Memorial Foundation and the District Court of Guam's Judiciary History and Arts Society, and she's also a board member of the Mercy Action Marianas Limited. On Saturday, the 7th annual Pizza Pop and Power Tools event was held at the GCA Trades Academy training facility in Barrigada. The Guam Contractors Association, which is in partnership with the National Associations of Women in Construction and the GCA Trades Academy, was a free event for middle and high school girls. It aims to encourage young girls to explore career and technical opportunities in the construction industry, whether it's in construction trades, project management, engineering, or architecture. Or other organizations that participated in the event include Guam Girl Scouts and Island Girl Power. Well, sports is next, but first, here's a look at your island weather.
How easy is it to earn reward points using the Alpha Plus app? Here, let me show you. Simply register with the all-new Alpha Plus app and earn reward points while making purchases at your favorite stores you already shop at. Just present the app to any authorized representative to earn your points. Now that was easy. Alpha Plus, make every day a plus.
Start something new this year when you buy a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram from Cars Plus and Mighty. Like a new Jeep Compass Sport, $175 per paycheck. Or a new Chrysler Pacifica LX, $213 per paycheck. Or save $10,500 on a new Ram 1500. How about a new Jeep Wrangler Sport, only $309 per paycheck. Plus, receive a Cars Plus Shell Value Card with every vehicle purchase. So this year, start something new with a new Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Ram. Only at Cars Plus and Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. We're in studio talking mixed martial arts with heavyweight fighter Roque Martinez. Man, you've been in the game for quite some time. You're a family man.
Yeah.
You work full time, but what fuels you as a fighter?
Man, everything about it. I mean, just everything from wanting to prove I'm the best to, I've gotten to a point where fighting's actually starting to support myself and my family, and I'm just trying to set us up for a good future now. So just definitely a lot of motivation behind fighting.
Yeah, and you're ranked #1 in Asia, Japan, but that comes along with hard work, and
Yeah.
we see it all the time. You're a heavyweight guy, but your conditioning, your cardio is on point, and your work ethic alone has got you to where you are now.
Yeah, definitely. Man, I just truly believe, like, man, you work so hard at something, and it's just the chance of succeeding just goes up that much higher, So I just have that mentality. I just want to outwork everybody, and I just know that in the end it's going to pay off, I just know it. I put all my hard work into it, and the end result will definitely show.
And your fight against Crow Cop, that's probably one of the biggest fights in Guam history for a local fighter to step into the ring against a guy of that caliber. But you went deep into the first round with him. He landed a elbow, cut you on top of your head. Kind of suspect on the referee calling the fight on that blow. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, of course, it's part of the game, but, man, the one way I never thought I'd lose to Crow Cop was definitely not by a cut, I felt I could keep going, but like I said, it's part of the game, and it is what it is. And you fought in Japan numerous times, and every time we talk MMA in Japan, it's like a chess match. Fans don't usually, applaud and cheer loud over the little things. They just sit there and enjoy it. But as a fighter, respecting the culture there and just knowing that fighting in front of those fans, it's pretty special to you. Oh, yeah. I mean, you could just feel the atmosphere. It's different, like you said, they're polite. They really observe everything about the fight, and they respect it. So, I mean, you'll hear them clap every now and then, but it doesn't get too loud. Just very respectful fans, and I have respect for that. They respect all the fighters that go and fight out there. And 2019 is going to be a busy year for you. Oh, yeah. 2 fights lined up. Let's talk about who your opponents are, and what are you looking forward to in your first fight? Okay, yeah, the first fight I have confirmed is I'm actually defending my title in Deep in Japan. My opponent's Ryo Sakai, and the interesting thing about him is I beat one of his opponents, and he also beat an opponent that I fought, and the guy had beat me, so kind of like an interesting matchup coming up, so I think it's going to be a good matchup. How do you guys fare as far as height in that matchup? I want to say he's about 6'2", so it's nothing I'm not used to anymore. Yeah, you're used to fighting giants. Yeah. And then you're looking at an April fight too. Yeah, so I don't want to go too deep into that one, but we're just about confirmed on that one. Hopefully Rising, fingers crossed, get that one going. So I'll just have a busy year this year. That was the plan. Yeah, and if anybody wants to follow you on social media, how can they track you down? Yeah, just follow me on Instagram. You can search my name, Roki Martinez, or it's Roki_Martinez86. I post everything, all my training, my busy day-to-day schedule. So you can just follow along, man. It's a fun ride for me, and you guys can check it out. All right, good luck in your future. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
Here's to the flavorful, those unafraid to show their signature style, signature moves, signature everything. You add the spice that makes life interesting. So to you, we raise a sandwich as flavorful as you are. From McDonald's signature crafted recipes.
Try the new savory, creamy mushroom and Swiss burger, part of the signature crafted recipes lineup, only at McDonald's.
What's the half-day pledge? It's a promise to share a half-day spirit and to protect our culture. Like, say, and half a day. It also means promising to keep our island clean. Like cleaning up the beach? That sounds so easy. It is. Anyone can sign up, even kids just like us. How do kids sign up? It's easy. Moms and dads call the Guam Visitors Bureau and sign your kid up to take the test.
All kids get certificates, bags, and can enjoy cultural activities at the signing ceremony.
We are Half a Day Pledge Kids, and you can be too.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's